Rhonda Hardy to close us out.
I thought I saw one more hair. No, I'm just kidding. That's why she keeps me around, because I have really good eyesight. But seriously, let's bring it on home. I mean, we've heard from Andy, we've heard from Joan, we've heard from incredible speakers, we've heard from Catherine Horner and Tim and so many. I think that you probably understand that we are part of something really amazing. From day one, Andy and Joan had 4 specific reasons for starting Premier. The opportunity to help mothers be able to stay more at home with their children, to provide encouragement and extra income for single moms or single women, to provide a way for individuals, especially those in full-time Christian work, to meet their financial needs, and to be a company that would support missions and ministries in America and all around the world. For those of you who are guests, or maybe you're new jewelers, and maybe you don't realize all that you're hearing today and understanding that the Horners are very special people. Andy and Joan Horner started Premier Designs when they were in their 60s. Do you hear me? They had already retired from another company. You heard Joan say that Andy was burned out. He was ready to just enjoy the last years of his life, and God spoke to him and said, I want you to start another company, one that will support missions all over the world, one that will have incredible lasting impressions and things that and Andy just said, oh God, I can't do it. I'm burned out. I've been working with 30,000 women for 17 years. I can't do it anymore. I'm tired of them. Okay? And Andy said, I heard him say this one time, that he heard God say to him, lad, that's what I've been waiting 60 years to hear from you. I don't want you to do anything for me. I want to do something through you. And that's how Premier got started. Andy had a burden for others. I've heard him tell stories of when he used to go to meetings at Dallas First Baptist Church, and he would see working mothers picking up their children from daycare, okay, after they had worked a long, hard day, and he knew that they were tired. He wanted, that they were tired. They had children, they had supper, they had all these things, but he knew that there could be another way for them to be able to be at home more with their children. He also knew from his own experience of being reared by a single mom how important it was for a single mom or any single woman to be connected with a group of other people, especially other women who could encourage, and where she could also have another way of making extra income. Andy has been involved with his church and other ministries for years, and he also knew that people that worked in churches and other ministries a lot of times make a lot less money than if they work in a secular job, okay? And he knew that these people, a lot of Christian workers have to raise their own support. And he knew that he could build a business like Premier that would allow them to make money, yet have the flexibility to still run their ministries. And fourthly and lastly, Andy and Joan have always had a love for missions. I mean, my goodness, did you hear them say they have 5 children? One of their daughters is married to a Bolivian missionary. She became a missionary in Bolivia. They have I'm not sure if it's 4 or 5 Bolivian grandchildren. He has a heart and a passion for missions all over the world. And that was one of the major factors of starting Premier, that Premier Designs Incorporated, after paying all the home office employees, after paying us as the jewelers and all the expenses of running a business like Premier, that money would be given through the Premier Horner Foundation to ministries all over the world. Now I'm going to tell you, girls, I love that about Premier. Anybody else in here with me? I love it. That's what sold me on Premier. I've always known what Premier was all about, even before I joined Premier. And I love the fact that the Horners didn't start Premier so they could get rich, or so that they could leave a lot of money to their children. Okay? But they wanted to give their profits to ministries. That was huge for me, because if I was going to become part of something like Premier, I knew that that company's values had to line up with mine. Anybody feel like that again? Let me ask you, okay? But, you know, I don't know about you. I'm kind of like Pam Matthews. I didn't have any experience with any other direct sales companies. I've never hosted a show. I've never been to a show of any kind. Now, tell people at my home shows that's really sad because nobody ever invited me to a show. Okay, but I didn't know a lot about MLM companies, you know, multi-level marketing. I've always been kind of scared of those people. So knowing the Premier's reason, the purpose, or the why, well, it gave me confidence. Sorry, I'm here. Oh, it gave me confidence to sign on the dotted line. But if I had to be totally honest with you, it gave me confidence, but it wasn't my reason. It wasn't my purpose. It wasn't my why. The reason I joined Premier was because I did need to make money for myself and my kids. Anybody in the room can testify to that. And I knew after listening to the marketing plan that it's a great way to make money. Okay? I'm just going to be honest with you. We're going to be real, right? I needed $600 a month, and I was looking for something that I could do with the least amount of time involved. At that time, I just really felt like God told me to stop homeschooling my children and put them in a Christian school. And it was going to cost $600 a month. And I'm going to tell you, girls, you know, that was a lot. And it was a monthly obligation. But it was something that was really good too, because I had to make $600 a month. I had to hold a minimum of 3 shows a month, so I had to book 4 or 5 every month. You see, I couldn't put them in for August and then take them out in September and let them go October, November, December, and then I didn't have any shows in January, and so I pulled them out. You see what I'm saying? It made me work my business, and it made me work it consistently. But I know that my story is probably not much different than a lot of yours, because I ask ladies all the time, what's your reason why? Why would you want to do something like this? What would make it worth your while to become a part of Premier? And I can tell you that by far the most common response I get is to make a little extra money. And I totally get that. It's a great thing to have something like Premier where we can go and do a show in any given night, probably make $200 a night, right? But I'm going to tell you too, I love the fact that we make 50%. So we make 50% on everything, even one item, right? I mean, we can sell a Vanessa ring and make $7, right? Now, it's not going to change your life, but it might change your day, right? I mean, you could go and have lunch, or maybe you weren't going to, or Starbucks for you and a friend, right? Okay, it's not going to change your life, but it can change your day. But I do love that about Premier. But I'm going to tell you too, I know a lot of women join Premier because of the jewelry. I mean, maybe you went to a show, you loved the jewelry, and you just wanted a little bit more. Just a little bit more, maybe a lot more, I don't know. Maybe you had a show and you got a ton of it free, and then you thought, I still want just a little bit more. Then you found out that as the jewelry lady, you get to wear all that jewelry anytime you want, looking good, making money, and you were sold. You were hooked, that was it, right? The jewelry is a great part of why you might want to get started with something like Premier. Or perhaps you've always wanted to own your own business. Are there any women in the room that have had a dream of owning your own business? Yes? Okay. Okay, and then maybe there are some ladies in the room that start Premier to do something fun, to do something new, to have friendships. Just like the lady that was talking on the video about the cancer. You know, she didn't even have friends. She didn't know about all this whole girlfriend thing, and I love that. But I have to ask you, what's your why? I've looked at this. I've analyzed it before for my own life, and so many of us have used acronyms. So I'm going to use one W and write this down. What's happening, and then you. I want you to put this on your mirror when you get home. I want you to put W-H-Y. What's happening, and then you. Because I'm telling you, most of the time we join Premier because of what's happening for you. I did. I joined Premier because of what's happening for me. I began to make some money. I was doing it because what was happening for my children. $600 a month was putting them in private school. You've got a reason probably too of why you started, but I'm going to tell you something too. When you start doing something like Premier, whether it was the money or the jewelry or the business or for fun and friendships, something happens to you along the way. You go to trainings, you go to rallies like this, you listen to Andy and Joan, you listen to online trainings, and you push through the discomfort of getting on the phone to line up shows or to confirm shows. You begin to realize that with every return and exchange, it gives us an opportunity to give excellent service, and we find that we are now doing things we never thought we could or that we would. And somewhere between, oh yeah, I need a little extra money, and oh my gosh, I love giving this jewelry away, you realize something's changing. I mean, your thinking starts to change from, oh my gosh, I hope somebody books a show tonight. I really need a booking. I really need some money, to, ooh, I hope I brought enough hostess packets tonight. I brought 3 or 4, but I know I'm going to need 5 or 6. You see what I'm saying? Does it happen to you? Has it happened to any of you? Yes? Or something happens between the day you catch yourself thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to go do this show tonight. I'm so tired. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see who's going to be at my show tonight. I love the fact that I never know who's going to be there. I love that. I love the fact that I am going to meet someone tonight that will love my jewelry, who will schedule a show of their own, who will need this business as much as I need it. I'm going to tell you too that you will move from phase 1 to phase 2. What's happening for you, and now you're in what's happening in you. Things are changing. You are changing. You're becoming a different person, and it's a good thing, and you like it. And I'm going to tell you, some of you are so new that you're still in phase 1, or maybe you go to stage 2 and then you go back to phase 1. But there's a little bit of a problem if you stay in stage 1, because if money is the reason that it brought you to Premier, what's happening for you, and you join Premier, of course we're a great company and it's a very good, wise decision, but if it's the only reason that you're making that little extra money, the first time you have a no-show or a low show or I can't have a show, which would be a postponement, right? You're going to want to quit. I know that. I've quit several times. But I am my own boss, and I've hired myself right back the next day. Okay, but, or maybe your husband gets a raise and you're thinking, I don't need to do this anymore. Or maybe you're like me, you've been in long enough that your kids have graduated from high school. So the $600 a monthly obligation is there anymore. So if you stay in what's happening for you, you may decide that the money is no longer something that is for you. What if the jewelry? I mean, that's a good reason why. I mean, what's happening for you? I mean, you're looking good, right? If jewelry is the reason you started, you are looking good. I mean, your children are saying, what does your mom do? My mom is the jewelry lady. Or your husband is thinking, woo, my woman is hot now. Woo, she is wearing some bling, and I'm telling you, now she's having a girls' night out that's making her some money instead of costing me some money, right? I know. But if that's your only reason why, okay, after you do your 10th or your 15th or your 20th replacement exchange, you may be thinking, whew, I am sick of this. Or when Premier retires your favorite necklace and you think, my life is over. There is no way I can do this business again. I can't even do a show without that necklace. Listen, person, you got to go to stage 2, I'm telling you. Or maybe your dream of owning your own business, or maybe that was your reason why you started, what was happening for you. You started doing this business and you realized, hey, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Ooh, excuse me, cracked up to be. Okay? Sometimes people don't follow through with their shows, or it's just making your own work is just too much work, and you don't want to do it again. So we have to stop here and say, let me ask you again, what's your why? It's important for you to know. I'm serious. Put it on your mirror, because you got to know it each and every day. You may be looking at the new year, or you may be looking at last year. Perhaps you're just looking at Premier for a new venture in 2013, but it's fundamental to know the 3 phases. Why? What's happening for you? What are you accomplishing for you and your family? Number 2, what's happening in you? You're realizing that you're becoming someone different, and you like that person. You're becoming a better you. You're doing things that you didn't think that you could or that you would. You're speaking in front of ladies, 4 or 5 ladies, and before you know it, you're giving your testimony at a training, and my goodness, you may show up at a regional or on the screen or something like that, and you realize that there's something happening in you. And then the 3rd phase is what's happening through you. When we talk about making those customer care calls, sometimes you'll call the hostess and you'll be on the phone with her, and she'll start saying, well, now I know your kids are older, so how did you do some potty training? I mean, you're giving free advice. You're giving something's happening through you. Or this has happened to me more than one time. I walked into a lady's house. It's happened 2 or 3 times, y'all. I walked in there to do a hostess coaching, and she just found out that she had cancer. Or she just found out that her husband just had a heart attack. And you have an opportunity to pray with them right then and there. No, not I'm going to put you on a prayer list at my church, but I'm going to pray with you right now. Something is happening through you. God is using you to bring laughter to a group of ladies. Maybe 3 or 4 or 5, 10, I don't know, but laughter doeth good like a medicine, I know that. God is also using you to add value to others. Whether it's at a home show and there's a shy young girl and you ask her to be your model and her face just lights up like a Christmas tree, or you're thanking a hostess for opening up her lovely home to her friends and for you to do her business, and you realize she's never done anything at her home before. Or by appreciating the girls on your team for their hard work and their serving spirit at your trainings. Hope. Maybe it's giving hope to someone like me. Someone who needed $600 a month, but thought that really only could mean the best I could do would be working 60 hours at $10 an hour. Until Gail Foster shared with me the marketing plan. That gave me hope, because I could be gone only 10 or 12 hours a month instead of 60 hours a month. That's huge. That brought hope to me, and I'm sure it probably has brought some hope to you. Bringing hope to someone who's always had a dream of owning their own business, but just didn't know how to do it or where to start, other than borrowing hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for a small business startup, right? Okay, let's just say it right here. No one wants to live life alone. No one wants to build, no one can build anything of lasting value by themselves. I love the fact that my why for starting my Premier journey helped Andy and Joan in their why. But I'm so glad that through this process I've moved into other phases. I love the fact that my company can be for stay-at-home moms, single women, Christian workers, Christian men, okay? People with college degrees, or somebody with a 3rd grade education. We all start this business the same. We all have the same opportunity. I love the fact that high fashion jewelry is my product. Do you love it? High fashion jewelry, okay? But because I've moved to another phase, I would still choose Premier even if our product was not jewelry, would you? I mean, I would stay with Premier if they changed tomorrow and started selling tires or herbal supplements or something like that. I know it wouldn't be fun, but you know, I would do it. I love the fact that because high fashion jewelry is our business, we keep home office employees employed with great jobs and great benefits. We keep the United States Postal Service busy, and FedEx, and UPS. Come on now. We offer hope to people all over our country to change their lives and to change the future of their families. We are a part of something bigger than we realize. We are contributing to things that will last longer than our own careers in Premier and longer than our own lives. But we don't do it alone. We are a part of a team, the Premier team. So I'm going to ask you, this is my phrase for this year. Can you be part of a team, be part of our team in 2013?